Hey guys, so I have a convention on this weekend and I just finished making this shoulder piece here, which is for my Kunari cosplay, and I thought I'd quickly show you guys the armor and maybe some of the products that I used, so you guys can see how I kind of make this. I don't really have time to do like a tutorial on how to make this, but I thought I'd quickly show you guys. So this is made with EVA foam, and I've primed it and painted it obviously, and did some weathering, as well as the fur touches and the pleather harness type thing. I used a lot of leftovers from my previous cosplays to make this, because I made this I think in 2 days. So it was just something really quick, but I wanted to make something cool for my second day cosplay. This here was just pleather sewed on pleather. It was also painted, and these little buttons are the googly eyes that I just glued on there with the contact adhesive and spray painted. And here I just have some of the patterns, templates, so you can see how they were kind of made. So I could just see I was really like in a rush, so I only did one side and then kind of just flipped it over the other side and traced around it to make both sides. But I'm really happy with this. It didn't take me that long, and yeah, it was kind of simple, so I thought I'd just show you guys what I've been working on. So before I packed everything away, I just wanted to show you guys some of the products that I used to make that shoulder piece that I just showed you, as well as this gauntlet type piece. These were really quick and easy to make. It only took me 1 or 2 days, so they're perfect if you just want to make like a quick cosplay or something like that. So first I made the patterns, which are these here, on some cardboard. For this cosplay I actually didn't really measure my wrist. What I usually do is measure my arm, but I was kind of lazy and in a rush, so I kind of just guessed it. I usually like take a ruler, one of these type rulers, and just measure the flexible rulers around my arm, and I guess just guess how long I want it to be, as well as leaving room, maybe 2 centimeters, for your arm to move around in, because that's really important. So I cut out the patterns, and then I traced them on a piece of EVA foam, which is this here. I have a huge roll of this, which was about $25. You can get it in the thicker floor mats, but this one I find is a bit thinner, and it's just much more flexible and easy to shape, I feel. Especially when you're heating things up and gluing them together, sometimes it's hard to get it stuck in that, to stay in that shape, in that cylinder shape, and get it stuck there to glue, especially it's like thicker material. So I find that foam really good, and it's like my favorite. I make everything, if I'm making armor, like I go just straight to this thinner EVA foam. So after I trace out the patterns on the EVA foam, I cut it out, and then I use my heat gun to heat it up after it's warm, or almost hot, I guess, after it's burning my fingers. Not really. I actually really, I shape it into the shape that I want to. It doesn't exactly go like this, obviously, because it's not going to stay, so it's a bit apart, about like that, and I leave it to cool down, and then after that I use this contact adhesive. It can be any brand, but I find contact adhesive really good for working with foam. It always works. You leave it on for about 10 to 15 minutes and then stick it together, and it just works like cement. It's really good. Sometimes I do use my heat gun, but I find that it dries, cools down too quickly, and you only get so much usage in the gun, so I'm like having to change them over and over again, and I don't get enough time. So after the two bits are glued together, as you can see, this is where I glued this together, I then take this gesso, which I bought from Spotlight, and I do maybe 4 or 5 layers to get it completely smooth. This is really good if you want to get it like a smooth finish. I always use it on all my armor, whether it's Warbler or foam. After that, I went in with two coats of primer, which I just use this black primer, spray paint, leave that to dry, and after that I use this metallic silver spray paint to get it a metallic finish. And next is the really fun part where you kind of do the weathering, which I did the same thing on the shoulder piece I showed you. I just got some black paint, it can be any black paint. Then I went in with just a sponge, one of these sponges, just dabbed it around and smudged it in a bit. After that I went around with a brush, just like a thin brush, went around all the edges, and then kind of blended that out a bit. And then after that I got just like a cloth and then dabbed it in the paint and just kind of brushed it around the armor or the gauntlet. I don't know if this is helpful or not because I'm not actually showing you as I do it, but I thought I'd just quickly show you like the steps that I do before I packed everything away. This is the glove I use. The finger pieces are actually Warbler. They're leftover Warbler that I had from my Llewellyn cosplay. And this little piece here is actually just craft foam. I did actually have a other piece made out of Warbler to go on top, but I tried gluing it on the glove, which is just a pleather glove from eBay that was cut, but I tried gluing it on there and it didn't stick, so I just had to make one out of craft foam and then use the hot glue gun to stick it on there, and that worked perfectly. Solace in the background, but since I'm here I might as well show you guys my staffs that I made. This one was actually remade because the head and the skull all broke off and then the skull cracked, so I had to get another one. But these are two staffs that I made. They are made with a bamboo stick that I just got from a hardware store and then painted, and the rest is just craft accessories that I found at a craft store and added detail on there. This here is made out of paper mache. This is just like a ball that I found at a discount store and I painted it to make it look cool, as well as leftover Warbler up there, and then I just found these little bark pieces that I glued onto there, and yeah, I thought it looked really cool. So this is the armor on my second cosplay. All this is actually Warbler, so this is much more detailed, but I thought I'd show you guys what I've been working on.